because nothing they say is really that funny or interesting or necessary. Okay, so our example here, the probability of getting a 4 here. If we consider a regular die, what are our different possible outcomes? We can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many of those are favorable? Just one, just the 4. Whoops, my bad. Favorable is what we want to have happen. Okay, out of how many possible outcomes? We said there are a total of 6 outcomes here. So the probability of rolling a 4 on a regular die is 1 out of 6. This is not any of the problems. This is just notes for you to have. I'll take this one. So theoretically, if we roll this 6 times, we should get a 4 one time. There you go. Okay? Next one will be a 5. What's probably the next time we roll it'll be a 5? It's still 1 out of 6. Do it again. Yes. Okay. So now, on the paper I gave you, starting on the side says 10-1. Then turn the paper over. Okay? They give you the spinner here. This can be a little bit confusing. What do you think might make this more difficult?
The spinner.
Are all the spaces the same size? No. So what can we do with our pieces that are too big? Divide them up into smaller. So each of these should be about how many? 3. So what letter would we put on these new spaces? These would all be A. We can do the same thing down here. And we would just call these B. So we start. We're looking for the probability of rolling or spinning on an A. So how many A's are there up there? 4. Out of how many? There are a total of now 12 spots. No, speakers. Okay? 4/12 is correct, but not the best answer. We could divide this by 4, and we do get 1/3. So that's our answer. So 1 out of every 3 times we spin that spinner, it should land on A. Okay? We're going to skip to number 4. We say, what is probability of not getting an A? So how many of our spots are not an A? 8. 8 out of 12. Can we simplify that? By 4, that would give us 2/3. So what do we notice about those two answers? What would happen if we combine them? It makes one whole. Why do you think that is?
Because it's 2 plus 1. Because 2 plus 1 is...
Well, that's mathematically why, but why is it?
Because the whole thing is divided into 3.
Because if we have 3/3, which is just one whole, how can we write that as a percent? Of course you can. If you move the decimal 2 places to the right, so that's 100. Do you think it's a coincidence that the probability of getting an A or not getting an A adds up to 100%?
No.
Is there any other possible way it could land?
No.
No. Well, how do you say yes? What could you get that's either A or not A? B would fall under the category of not A. Still? All right. If you don't count the lines or other ridiculous answers, like when you flip it and everyone tries to say, what about that one time it totally happened to me where it landed on its side? We don't count those, okay? So the probability of something happening plus the probability of something not happening will always add up to 1 whole, or 100%. Okay? Take a couple minutes while I write Roper's nurse pass to try to answer 2 through 6. I thought we were going to get this whole talk about what's wrong with Juan. So Chris, what'd you get for an answer for number 2? Yes. Why 5/12? Because there are 5 B's on our spinner out of a total of 12. Can you simplify that? No. Juan, or Wyatt, just come over, okay? Wyatt, no, I'm tired of it. Wyatt, you're not trying. You're trying my patience. Okay, Wyatt. If there's a 5/12 chance that it will be B, what does that mean? It's the chance that it won't be a B. It is 7/12. Okay, how about C? Well, it's 3 out of 12. Which, like Albert says, does simplify to 1/4. So if there's a 1/4 chance that it is, that means there's 3/4 chance it's not. Okay?
I think I would know.
What? I don't know if it actually stands for something. If it does, I don't know. Okay. Number 7. Just another way of writing this out. If we say the odds in favor of winning the game are 5-9, what's the probability of winning that game? It's just 5 out of 9. Albert, it's not funny, not appropriate. What's the probability of not winning the game? Why do we know it's 4 out of 9? Because either something happening or not happening has to add up to 100%. So the only thing you can add to 5/9 to get 9/9 is 4/9. Nice and easy. Hopefully we're getting this down. Not right now. Okay. Number 9. an example they always try to give you. You have a bunch of marbles in the bag. Oh, then do it on your own. Why are you waiting for me to answer them for you? So, if you want to know the probability of a certain color being picked out, what's the first thing we should find out? Add them all up. How many total marbles are there in the bag? 45.
45 total.
So then if we want the probability of one being red, we look at how many there are that are red, which is 10, out of the total, which is 45. We can simplify that just like Mark said. Good job. This is 2 ninths. That's it. Okay? If we look at number 11, it just writes it on words. What are the odds in favor of picking a blue marble? What does that mean we're looking for? We're looking for the probability of what? Of blue. So how many blues are there? 12 out of, we can simplify that. You always simplify it. That's why we practice until it's your best friend. Yes, you can. No. What's 12 divided by 3? 4. Okay. Can we simplify 4 over 15? No. All right, if we try 13, what's probably picking a marble that's not yellow? What would we be finding the probability of here? So we'd say probability of what? What would go in the parentheses? Not yellow. So, 2 ways you could do this. You could either add up everything that's not yellow, or you could subtract the total minus what is yellow. Either way, you get 30. 30 out of what? We could divide it by 5, or we could divide it by... We could divide it by 5. What else? Can't divide it by 10. 15. Thank you. All right. And if I said you could divide that by 6, I'm sorry, you can't do that. My bad. All right. Take 2 minutes. Try to answer these 3. One of them's done for you if you actually paid attention.
Number 10, 12?
No, number 10 is 10. Number 12 is 12. All your answers should be written as some kind of fraction. Not right now. What? Huh. No, you don't. Then you shouldn't be playing Black Ops, because there's numbers all through that. Every time you get points for something. Yes, it does. So, what does number 10 look like? Does it look like a problem we've already worked out?
It's 4:15.
So if we work it out again, you get 12 over 45. Can you simplify that?
It's just 15. It's 12. 8, 12.
Not quite.
No, like. Then is it 1/3?
All right, number 12. Miguel, you doing number 12 for us or no?
Go, Miguel.
Okay, there are There are 8 green marbles out of 45. We can't simplify that.
I know the answer.
So that's our final answer. Okay? How about number 14? How many of our marbles are not red? 35 out of 45. What does 35 over 45 simplify to? No. That is... Okay? How else could we have figured that out without having to do the math? What do we say was the probability of getting a red? 2 over 9. So if there's a 2 out of 9 chance of getting a red, what's the probability of not getting a red? Why would you throw the pencil away? There are starving children in Alabama. With a pencil, you could gain an education and get a job. Yes. Not today. Okay. So, okay, if you buy a ticket for the drawing, last week you bought 1 ticket, find the probability odds of winning if 1,200 tickets were bought that week. So how many favorable outcomes are there? 1. Just 1. How many total outcomes are there? 1,200. And that's it. To give you an idea of your chances of winning any sort of raffle or lottery, it's usually not good. That's why some people say that anyone who plays the lottery is just being taxed for their, I don't want to say stupidity, but lack of knowledge of basic statistics. Okay? All right, find the probability if you bought 3 tickets. So that would be 3 out of, which is the same as 1 over. So you can improve your chances by buying more tickets, but still, it's still 1 out of 400. That's less than a 1% chance. What do you mean no? Yes?
Are you like?
You asked me that question. I said I don't have the answer to that. And that hasn't changed since like 10 minutes ago. All right. All right, 16. Cheese tray contains, hey. So the probability of Swiss is 0.45.
What is cheese tray?
It's a tray with cheese. All right.
No, it's a type of cheese.
Turn the paper over. I'll let you.
Can you go back to it?
If you're not going to take it seriously, I'm not really inclined to want to help you with it. So we're moving on. We start off with the first three. We should be able to do these. What's the probability of getting a green here? 3 out of 6, which simplifies to. Probability of getting a red is 1/3. And an orange. 1/6. Okay. So for the next part, you're going to take all these numbers from up here to help you find out, based on these percentages, based on the odds of landing on each of these three colors, you want to know how many times it would land on red if you tossed it 600 times. So we have to go back to an old friend. So we're comparing red to the number of tosses. It gives us the ratio we know, which is 1/3. So we should get 1 red for every 3 times we toss it, equals some number over 600. Okay, Jace. So 1 times 600 is 600. Divided by 3 is 200. If you look at the next one, this time we're looking at green. So our key would look like the number of green What is our ratio for green? Not 1/5, 1/2. And what's going to go on the right side? 144, is that the number of green or the number of tosses? That's the tosses, so that'll go on the bottom. X on top.
So it's 144 divided by 2, it's like 72.
So that does work out too. Okay. Are the next two going to be any different? No. Number 6 is going to give you a decimal. Just round it to the nearest whole number. Come on, Jacob. Pick your pencil up. I know that's the problem. You should be doing work.
Is number 7 going to give you decimals?
7 won't, 6 does. What? Okay. It's not 11. It's not 10.
It's 16. It's 11. No. Just kidding.
This one's about 14.3, which rounds to 14. Okay? I'll let you guys get number 7. Don't say it out loud. What? What? Okay. No. It's for old. All right. Next section. Kirsten. You could cross multiply with these numbers, but they're kind of big. So we could simplify this. We can cross out the zeros. Can we simplify 16 over 30? That would be 8. And that should make it a little bit easier for you. Once you get that one answer, it's not 150. It is about 426. Now you could make the same proportion for the next 3, or you could use some common sense, which may or may not come to you. If you look, 160 kids took the bus. How does that relate to the amount of kids that took a car? It's half as much. So what's going to be true about when we have 800 kids? It's going to be half of this, which would be about 213. How does walking relate to kids who took a car? Is half. 40 is half of 80. I don't know what you're giggling about. Like, that's. I don't get the joke.
I'm just kidding around. That's why.
But
You're like, you just fooling.
there's nothing to fool about. Like, haha, it's funny. I don't know how to divide by 2. Haha.
Dude, I'm just kidding. Oh my God.
But that's your joke. You're saying, haha, I made a joke. I can't divide by 2. Ha 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 ha.
Oh my God. Just drop it.
I'm trying to understand your humor. You know, as I get older, I can't keep up with you kids. So you can use that to get the last 2. Okay. The shoe manufacturer one, we're looking at the number defective compared to what? Total, thank you. So we do have 41 shoes that are bad out of 250. And we want to know how many would be bad out of 6,000. I didn't plan on the answers.